Number 4. In this tutorial we're going to continue with the editing of the articles and specifically focus on the text colours and text editing of the articles for enhanced usage. So important things to know: if I click on the administrator information, which is visible from the site administrator login, then the site has a series of colours and colour schemes, and the information relating to these is in this article, and it gives me a bit of information as to what each one does, where it's used, the hexadecimal code relating to that colour, and the red, green and blue codes that are also the breakdowns of that colour. If I wanted to make changes to the article colour, then I need to know either the either the hexadecimal code, or I can select the colour that I want from a palette. And as we go into more detail, we'll see that. I'm going to use the Race Reviews cream colour, so I've actually chosen to use this hexadecimal code. So from that, if I go back to the home page, I don't need to use the hex code, as I say, it's purely by choice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the next race field, because the next race date has gone, and we should be looking for the 11th of August. If you noted that when we were looking at the article, the text fit onto the page, that's because the text size just happened to mean that it would all fit on one page. Obviously, if I add more characters across, then it's going to start to push the wording, and it'll start wrapping around onto the second line. So you need to be wary of that when you are editing articles, that what it looks like in the article editor isn't necessarily the way it's going to look like on the screen when you've finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just edit it a little so that it hopefully will fit a bit better on the screen. 11th of August 2012. Come and join us at Gresford. If I save that, we'll see that I haven't changed the second line, so that's not looking promising. The top line has moved successfully, the bottom one hasn't, so we might need to format that a little bit. There's a number of ways that we can format it. Obviously, if we highlight the text, we could change the font size so that it does all fit on one line. We could move this text over slightly so that it aligns more to the asterisks. Because I've changed the text, I could maybe change that one back as well so it looks a bit better. So hopefully that'll fit. There is also the opportunity of changing the various font types. If you look at the editor button aligns very similar to something like Word, with all of the various options you have for bold text, italics, underlines. You have the undo option, and one of the interesting options in this is the colour option here. You can change the font colour. By default, the font colour is this gold colour that the site uses. But if you want to change the site colour, or the font colour rather, you highlight the text that you want changing. Oops, and that again. Highlight the text that you want to change. Click on the colour. You can select a colour from the palette if you want one, or you can edit the colour by pasting into the More Options colour option. You'll see that the underline has changed to the colour that I've selected, and the text colour has now changed. If you remember, this was changed to the yellow colour that I required. So I've saved that. I get the entry to say that the article is saved. If I now look at the colour has changed. Note that the font size was made smaller, so the font size has also changed. I've decided actually that I liked it better the way it was before, and I wanted to go back. What I can do is, if you click on underneath the article option, you've got this option versions. If you click on versions, it will give you the oldest versions, the dates that the versions were edited, and I want to go back to the one before I just edited it. So I'm going to click Use. Note that the article has changed, so it's back to the one that I changed, where I changed the date but hadn't changed the format or the font size. But if I save that, it will then take me back and my text will go back to the colours that I wanted. That's a very simple and easy option, and the whole editing of the articles is really very simple. It can all be done through the front end. In the next tutorial, we'll talk about how to change the pictures.